The 2023 Telluride is refreshed and it just keeps getting better. Today we have this SX Prestige X-line, and this is the complete package Kia delivers again for the 3-row segment. And today we're going to take a look at the exterior details, the interior, and get it out on the road for a test drive. Let's get started. All right, let's take a look at the exterior details of this refreshed 2023 Kia Telluride. Now for 2023, we get a couple new models. We get the X-line and the X Pro. Now starting up front, this one is the X-line on top of the SX Prestige. So you're gonna have all the bells and whistles, and it's gonna be a little bit more of an aesthetic off-road look with some sporty flares and luxury flares as well. So for 2023, we have a refreshed grille, we've got refreshed front bumper, and these headlights look different. You're gonna get these LED headlights, LED fog lights, the new Kia emblem for the last couple of years, LED turn signals in there too. Now the Telluride here comes with the optional wolf gray paint. I think it looks nice on here, especially with all these black accents. We've got these 20-inch black wheels, and if you get the X Pro model, you'll actually get all-terrain tires. Kia is going to give you turn signals in the mirror with some gloss black on there. You're going to get blind spot indicators in there, and they can tilt down in reverse. There's just no dimming. So the Telluride is 197 inches long. This is actually shorter and smaller than many of the other 3-row competitors, yet it still has excellent space inside. It's just a great use of space. You're also going to get these roof rails up there, the X Pro model as well. They're a little bit elevated, so you can put some bulkier items up there without it scratching the paint. And ground clearance is even improved a little bit for these X models, up to 8.4 inches, so about half an inch higher than before. And coming to the back, we've got the same taillight design we had before. You've got this vertical blinker that looks interesting, Telluride written across the back, and a little X-line badge paired with that dual exhaust on that side. Now, one nice thing about Kia, which can be a little aggravating, is that they have this smart lift gate standard on this top trim to where you don't have to swipe your foot, you don't have to wave your hand or anything. If you have the key fob on you and you're just within proximity of this lift gate, it can automatically open like that. And now, this is the first time I remember seeing this. If I walk away with the key fob, watch this, I believe it should close on its own, which I don't think it used to do that. There it goes. Now, actually taking a look at this cargo area, we get 21 cubic feet behind the 3rd row. This certainly isn't class leading, but it is still very good considering its exterior dimensions are smaller than many of its competitors. So, decent space, enough space to fit a backpack or carry-on suitcase back here. Underneath of this carpet, we also get a movable storage floor. You've got a tonneau cover in there. You've got extra storage space underneath of this floor. There's also a cargo net hook on each side. And over here, you're going to get a 12-volt power outlet and even power folding second rows. You might ask, why not the 3rd row? Well, because you can reach the 3rd row from here. You just pull that, pop it down, boom, nice and flat. And if the headrest is up, when you pull that, that automatically goes down too. And one thing that I also appreciate, in the back of the seat, you get a hook right there, which is great for grocery bags or tying up a backpack or something. Then you get about 46 cubic feet with that down, and this is nice and flat, a great flat load floor, wide and high. Now, let's fold these down. Push that, boom, watch this one. It's a pretty quick mechanism too. I had that armrest down quite a bit, so it kind of stopped it. And now with everything folded, this again is really nice and flat, and you get about 87 cubic feet back here. This is again very good considering its exterior dimensions. It's fairly wide, it's fairly tall, and it's nice and flat. Now Kia gives us a new key fob. So this is actually a very soft, nice texture on here. It's almost kind of rubbery, but it's not sticky like in your pocket. You have your typical remote start function on here. You've got the locking mechanism, tailgate, all of that on this side, even the alarm. And the way the smart key system works is you've got this little notch right there. Press it and lock. You've got power folding mirrors. Otherwise, to unlock, you use a sensor in the back. Now, there is no smart key access on the rear door, which is something you'll typically find in luxury vehicles. Now on the inside, Kia gives you seats that you could see in luxury cars with the adjustments, with the material. even with the embossing in the seat right here. So the headrest doesn't go forward and backwards, it just goes up and down. But these are Napa leather seats. So you've got a premium leather, you've got pretty good bolstering here on the side, decent bolstering on the bottom. They're not super soft, but they are still comfortable seats. Then down here, we've got 4-way lumbar support. Again, something you don't always see. You've got all your typical adjustments, height, tilt, all of that, even thigh extension adjustment right here. The steering wheel is not power automatic, it is just a manual tilt and telescoping. However, they do give you memory settings on the door, so 2-position memory settings for the driver only, but that gives you the entry-exit system, so when you get in and out of the vehicle, you can have the seat automatically move for you. But wait, there's more. You've got 3-tier heated seats or 3-tier ventilated seats and a heated steering wheel. And the entire leather-wrapped steering wheel is heated, so that is very nice. So this is my third go-around being able to drive the Telluride around, and I've been comfortable in them every single time. I've taken them on decent distance trips. I spend a decent amount of time in here. And there's one more thing. This Telluride now comes with what they call lumbar stabilization, where after 30 minutes or 60 minutes, you can set it on the screen. It's almost like you get a little lumbar massage. It kind of inflates and then deflates and rolls a little bit in your low back to help you stay comfortable. Now the second row is very nice. It's nicer than some luxury vehicles. So first of all, we've got these manual sunshades, great for the kids. You've got heated and ventilated rear seats. You heard that right. There's heated 3-tier seats and there's ventilated 3-tier seats in the second row for these captain's chairs here. You also have nice material here. You still get the nice trim and it's even soft up here. Plus there's kind of a skinny bottle holder down there. Even though this isn't very tall, there is a grab handle to get in to make it easy for people to get in and out. We get ratcheting style armrests that you can have wherever you want or get them out of the way. You even have a hook right here to sling a purse on both sides, grocery bags, whatever it is. I know my wife has slung her purse on there and she really appreciates that. Both seats get a little hidden USB-C charging port. So it's convenient. It doesn't have to be down there by your feet. It's in the back of the seat. Legroom is really good in the Telluride. So I'm 5'9". That is where I like to sit at 5'9". Good foot space underneath as well. And it's fairly flat, almost entirely flat in the middle too. With the captain's chairs here, it's just wide open in the center. There are air conditioning vents straight up overhead. And take a look at this premium headliner. And look at these massive lights. First of all, those are huge. And you've got your own temperature, climate control. It's a single zone for the back seat, but you have full control up here. And I kind of like that it's up high so that little kids can't mess with it. And you can still control the rear AC from up there. You'll see this in pickups most of the time, but there's cup holders right here in front of you. I like that. They're out of the way, but they're convenient to grab. Plus you have a 115-volt plug-in down there and a 12-volt power outlet. This is a great back seat. I mean, it's comfortable. These seats scoot back quite a ways or lean back, and you've got these armrests, you've got heating and ventilation, you've got the sunshades, you've got USB ports, and we've got our own moonroof back here too, or our own roof to where we can look out. It doesn't open up, but we can at least look out. Now, third row access, really easy. You've got a button up here or on top of the seat. Push and hold that and it automatically slides out of the way. Gives you a pretty good opening right here, or you could crawl around through the middle, and it's going to give you a 3-passenger setup for the back seat. Now, understandably, most adults are not going to try to sit back here. I'm 5'9" and my knees push into this seat. So with the seat all the way back, I can't sit like that. But obviously I could sit in the middle, or if I scooch over here, I have this seat about halfway through its tracks. So someone could scoot up, still have enough legroom to be comfortable, and someone could sit back here that's actually my height. Even with a hat on, I can sit here and my head is barely touching. So without a hat, 5'9", you're good to go. You also get a USB-C charging port on each side and 2 cup holders on each side. Now this is an impressive third row considering the dimensions of this vehicle. Now climbing into the interior of the Telluride, there are some updates and they're right in front of us. We've got this giant connected dual 12-inch screen, so you've got just over 24 inches of touchscreen or digital display right in front of us. The trim materials are the same. You've got some nice matte wood trim right there. Everything looks really nice in here. You've got a good quality feel to this interior and a good layout. I really only have one small complaint for this interior, which I'll share with you in a little bit. But over on the door, like I showed you, your memory settings, you've got a softer material up here, this trim here, a soft armrest, and I like these big door handles here so you can easily grab it or even store a little something in there for a moment if you want to. You've got all one-touch automatic windows. I was just in an $80-something thousand pickup that did not have all automatic windows. It's just one more thing that Kia thinks about. The bottle holder is kind of useless unless you have a shorter, skinny bottle though. And like I said, the steering wheel is heated and ventilated. The materials on here are similar to before. It's easy to use and operate, and you can control this brand new digital display from the steering wheel. So you've got different options here. You can scroll through the same kind of menu system that you could before. It looks very similar in the middle. It's just that the actual gauges are digital, and you can somewhat customize the way that those look as well. Then right in front of us, Kia gives us a head-up display that really does show us a lot of information, especially when you're driving. It'll show you your blind spot information, your cruise control, all the good stuff. And like we saw before, we have this blind spot view monitor to where if you turn your signal either way, it'll give you a camera right next to you. And now we have a 12.3-inch touchscreen over here. So it's all controlled by touch. You do have physical buttons to go to shortcuts right there, but unlike some vehicles, there's no command controller or anything like that. It's just touchscreen, so it depends what you like. We've got navigation built in on here for our radio. We've got presets. We've got options to change the audio settings right up here, which I'll go through that in a little bit. Hit the home button. You've got a pretty easy to use interface. Everything is, pretty self-explanatory, and there's a fair amount of stuff you can customize once you get into your vehicle settings here, and it's a nice layout. So Wi-Fi is standard on here, which is one nice thing. If we go to sound, we even have the Harman Kardon 10-speaker sound system on here, and you can change the way it sounds a little bit too to have it surround sound or not, and it sounds pretty nice. So we also have this thing called passenger talk. You can access that in the menu or make a shortcut for it, and our front microphone will pick up my voice and play it through the rear speakers so you don't have to turn around and yell. In the menu system, you also have this thing called quiet mode, good for families. You can activate this with the shortcut, but it'll make sure that there's no noise going to the back seats, lower the volumes. So if you've got kids that just fell asleep, you can turn that on and you're good to go. The only thing that I really don't like is the fact that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto have to be plugged in. It is not wireless, and that's kind of a bummer because we have a wireless charger down here, but we don't really get to use it if you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. We also have a USB-C, a USB-A, and a 12-volt power outlet down there. But one cool thing is that on the steering wheel or on here, you can activate or make this star button be whatever you want. So I have it set for Apple CarPlay, so it'll automatically pop up, or phone projection they call it, but it's nice. It's a nice display on the screen, works well. And I love having a volume knob, a tuning knob, and all of these shortcut controls in here so you don't have to dig around in the menus to find simple things. Then you have dual zone climate control on here. I love this feature that you can have it on automatic to where it can be on automatic and allow the fan to go to a high speed, automatic, or allow it to be a medium speed, or be automatic and only let it be low so that it doesn't blast you once it's able to heat or cool the vehicle. Moving back, we've got the same shifter here. We've got the same kind of layout down here as well. You can lock your center differential. You've got different drive modes. The smart mode from Kia is where it will go between like a comfort mode or a sport mode or an eco mode, depending on your driving habits. Auto stop start can turn off with that. Brake hold, electronic parking brake. I'll show you the camera in a second, and then parking sensors. So for our camera, let's go ahead and throw it into reverse. We've got a 360 camera here. You can zoom in like that, or you can click this, and look at that. You can see right next to the vehicle. You can move it around. This is great. This is better than what you would normally expect on a mainstream brand. Cup holders are good size. You even have a little storage area up there. The armrest is fairly wide for this class. It's soft. Lift it up. You've got one tray that can be removed, or you've got a big opening down there with the 12-volt power outlet inside with the USB-C power outlet. Kia gives us a locking glove box with a soft liner. Speaking of soft liners, this entire interior has this premium soft headliner as well, even in the back seats. We've got LED interior lighting, a sunglass holder. We even have this digital camera mirror. This is something I just did not expect to see. You can make it be a regular automatic dimming rearview mirror with garage controls or a camera mirror. So I just have a bunch of trees behind me and I can see that crystal clear. The visors also can fully slide and extend just like that. And we've got a dual pane roof. So we've got our own roof right there. And then the second row gets their own roof too. This is really nice. So under the hood, there's no change to the engine. There's just one minor little bump for the powertrain, and that's the fact that the X models can now tow an extra 500 pounds. So towing capacity is 5,500 pounds. But under the hood right here, we get this direct injected 3.8 liter V6 with 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque paired with their 8-speed automatic. Those are the exact same figures as we had before. There's no turbo 4, there's no hybrid, it's just this 3.8 liter V6. Miles per gallon for this all-wheel drive model is going to be 18 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 combined, so that's definitely one of the weak spots compared to some of the competition. And Kia still gives you a self-leveling rear suspension if you're towing, and you get the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That is unmatched. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this 2023 Telluride. So driving dynamics aren't gonna change compared to before, and that's okay because this is a nice driving vehicle. Now, some people have asked me, what's the difference between this and the Palisade for driving dynamics? I think the Palisade feels a little bit softer, but that's just so subjective. You'd have to get behind the wheel and test them out for yourself. Now, one thing that I have complained about in the past with the Telluride is the responsiveness of the throttle. So there's been a couple times where I wanted to pass somebody or get moving real quick, and if you put the pedal down enough, it can take a while to kick in, but I gotta tell you, once it does kick in, you've got good power out of here. A lot of you are probably going to appreciate having a V6 instead of a smaller turbo 4-cylinder, and the power output is good. Even though they didn't increase it or improve it, you know, the MPGs are not quite as good as competitors, so you got to keep that in mind. But driving dynamics in here are still good. I really can't complain about it, especially for this class. And I know those of you shopping for this probably aren't going to care that much about driving dynamics. Let me just tell you, it's easy to drive, it's easy to live with, it's comfortable to drive, the ride comfort is good. I've heard people say that it's got a stiff ride. I disagree. I think it's a comfortable ride. I just hit that manhole right there. We're gonna hit some bumps going over the bridge, and it soaks them up very, very well. It's nice to have the blind spot camera, the rear view mirror camera. These mirrors can tilt down in reverse. The only thing is they're not automatic dimming. But this does have a full suite of driver assist features as well. In fact, this has a lane change assist too. So it's got highway drive assist 2, where it can lane center for you, it can change speeds for you, have adaptive cruise control for you. And when you're on the interstate, highway drive assist is active. It will also change lanes if you put your signal on. You are supposed to keep your hands on the wheel, but just for reference, it can do that. That's a luxury car type of feature. Now, let me put us, we're in smart mode, but let me put us in sport mode and put the hammer down. So this accelerates fine. It's right in line with most of its class, I would say. It sounds nicer because it is a V6. Your gauge cluster changes when you change the drive mode as well, so it looks more sporty, and handling is good enough in here. It's not going to handle quite like a luxury car or as good as some of the competitors in this class, but it still handles totally fine. Nobody's going to push this thing that much beyond its limits, and it's going to handle everything that you put it through. You might be able to hear a little bit of wind noise right now. This is a very quiet vehicle. So Kia, from the get-go, in 2020 when they introduced it, made it quiet. We have laminated glass over here. We have a laminated windshield as well. And you can tell it's got good wind noise, good road noise ratings, and it's among the lowest that I've tested in this class, and I'm very happy to say that. Now I'm going to put our cruise control on right here. And lane centering, it can lane center even on highways like this, but if you're on the interstate, it will do even a better job, and it will tell you that it sees those lanes. So it's keeping a distance right here. I can increase that distance. I have a full demo video of the Telluride's driver assist features in the description below if you want to check that out. It's slowing down for me. This vehicle is going to turn. Once it turns, this is going to take off for me. It's pretty smoothless and seamless. And here it goes. All right, telling me to keep my hands on the wheel, and it's going to accelerate back to our speed. So you've probably seen that in a lot of vehicles, but it does a good job in here. So to wrap things up, I enjoy driving the Telluride. It's a good, spacious vehicle for a family without being absolutely huge or without the price tag of vehicles like the Tahoe and Expedition and things like that, bigger ones. And it's got a ton of features in here. Ergonomics are good. You can reach all those controls really well. The touchscreen is easy to get to. Visibility is great here. Visibility is also pretty good out of this vehicle because it's boxier than some. So overall, very nice to drive. So to wrap things up on this 2023 Telluride, again, the Telluride is probably the best value you're gonna find in this 3-row segment. I say that because they have some segment exclusive features and just about as many features and the best warranty that you're gonna find in this class. So if you were gonna get a 3-row crossover, would you get the Telluride? Would you go for something more popular like the Highlander, the Ford Explorer, maybe the Honda Pilot, or maybe the brand new revamped Mazda CX-90? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Refresh and which 3-row crossover you would go for. Hope you enjoyed this video. A thumbs up would be super helpful, and have a great day.